I want to say something before this video gets started. This video was recorded probably about 2 weeks prior to this release date, right? In reaction or response to a conversation that I had online with a young brother, a content creator. We were talking about parenting, right? The responsibility of parenting or whatever, something like that, in general. And in his rebuttal to what I was trying to tell him regarding parenting in general, he goes to his daughter's sexual activity. He mentions that if his daughter is out there slutting around, that's on him. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to prevent that. And I was like, whoa, young brother, how do we get to sex? We're talking about parenting, and how did you get to your daughter's coochie? You know, how did your mind go there? Of all the aspects of parenting that you could think of all the problems in modern life we have to face, we have to contend with. Seriously, man, sex is the first thing y'all think of when y'all talk about parenting. Sex of your daughter. That's not healthy, brothers. And I know this is a triggering topic. This is probably one of the most triggering topics to black people, and I don't understand why. Y'all seem to have a problem with natural law, with God. Black people have descended into some type of evil that I don't understand. Some type of devil worship that I just don't get. And you justify all the wickedness that you do behind the pretense of wanting to be good, of trying to do what's right. They do it in pro-blackness, right? All the wicked, evil pro-black people that we have that talks for us and talk to us. These people are pure evil, like Dr. Umar Johnson. That man is a devil. Y'all love him because he does what he do under the guise of pro-blackness. You know what I'm saying? But y'all like him because they all come under the guise of being good black people and being upstanding black people and everything. And it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. You know, this time we live in, it's strange. It's Twilight Zone-ish. You know, part of the thing about growing up is that you go through certain stages of life. When you turn around and have kids, as a parent, you are supposed to understand what they're going through at certain stages of life because you've already been there. You are supposed to be able to talk to them about what they're going through at certain stages of life. I still don't have, I can't understand how any grown person who was once a teenager can sit here online with a clear conscience and label teenagers as babies, as children. Talk about a teenager like they're talking about a child. Some of the dudes had full beards when I was in school. Full beards, bro. This is just nature. Girls reach their physical maturity faster than boys. So, I mean, I don't understand. If we all have gone through these stages, why do we then turn around and make our main purview as a parent policing the sexual activities of our daughters? And you could come up with all the things to justify. You could talk about unwanted pregnancies. You know, you got all these things you can do to say, well, I'm just trying to prevent it. I'm just trying to prevent that. Well, our parents in our time was trying to prevent it too, but they didn't police us like that. The parents before then were trying to prevent that too, but they didn't police the children like that. The point is, y'all have some kind of weird fixation on the sexual activities of people in general. Sex is a part of human nature. It is a part of life. Your child, whether they're homo or hetero, is going to engage in some form of sexual intercourse at some point in their life. When it kicks in for the individual is when it kicks in. As a parent, you are supposed to know and understand that. Nobody should have to tell you that as a parent. So as a parent, your job should be to talk to this child, to get this child in the right state of mind so that they can make better decisions regarding sex. That's your job as a parent. Not just regarding sex, but regarding everything. Your job as a parent is to talk to your children and give them the best counsel that you can give them, to give them the best advice that you can give them on life, because they are going to grow up and go their own way. There's a reason why you could be legally emancipated at like 13, 14 years old. There's a reason why most of these states had these, I forgot what they called them, where you could just drop off the teenager at the firehouse, you know what I'm saying, and leave them, because, you know, there's only so much you could do with a teenage is a young adult. A teenager is not a baby. A teenager is not a big baby. It's a young adult. And y'all could try to come with all this stuff about, well, look at the maturity level. I mean, how can they grow up when all of society is treating us like we are babies longer and longer in life? What do you really expect from them when this is how they are raised in this time, in this day and age? What do you really expect from them? But I don't understand why, if we're talking about parenting as black people, the first thing come to our mind is the sexual activities of our daughters. We have to be the only people on the planet that does that. There's something wrong with us. And I don't just mean black people, I mean black Americans. This has to be something that's unique to us here in America. What is it with our hatred towards sex? You know, what is it with our conflicting beliefs? If you think sex is evil, why do you want kids? Well, it's not evil. She just got to do it with her husband. But people can have sex how they want to have sex, who they want to have sex with. Come on now. You can't control people's sexual desires. Not even those of your own children. And if you are not mature enough into emotionally intelligent enough, emotionally intelligent enough to understand that you just can't control these kinds of things, that your job as a parent is to give counsel, you shouldn't be a parent. You shouldn't be a parent. Too many of y'all are not fit for parenthood. And like I said, I know this is one of the most triggering topics that I could talk about on this channel, man. I've had these talks before about the age of consent. And man, you should see the responses I got. I got called a pedo, you know, by one chick. I mean, just kept going, you pedo, you know, all because I said that teenagers not children. I mean, listen, we all of us above age know damn well that you're not no baby when you're a teenager. Y'all convince yourselves that as adults. But most of y'all, when y'all were teenagers, y'all was sneaking around behind y'all parents' back, having sex, smoking, drinking, probably doing drugs. You was doing all kinds of stuff as a teenager. So now you get older and now you have children, and all of a sudden you want to keep your children babies until they're 35. Something is wrong with you. Live your own life. Stop trying to mold your child into whatever you think you would have been had you did things differently. Stop it. That child is going to go their own direction. You mold them by giving them counsel. You mold them and influence them by talking to them. Trying to stop them from doing what they do is not the answer. They're going to do whatever they're going to do anyway. Your job is to try to guide them as best you can. But back to my point, I'm a little scatterbrained. The point is, though, y'all went through these stages yourselves, and now for some reason you are trying your best to hold back the experiences of your child, and it all seems to be centered around sexuality and interacting with boys and girls and everything. This is why so many of our young girls are gay right now, man. Y'all are all contributing to the high numbers of homosexual black females. Y'all raise these girls with such a hatred and such a suspicion towards boys, but y'all never tell them about girls like that, right? It's always about boys. Stay away from these boys. Avoid these boys. The black men do it. The fathers do it with their daughters. The mothers do it with their daughters. Stay away from these boys. These boys, these boys, these boys. And as these girls grow up, they hit the teenage years, they start getting these tingling feelings. They told us stay away from boys, but they got these feelings. So they start acting out these feelings towards other females, because they have been told their whole life to stay away from boys. What is wrong with y'all? You never teach your daughter to stay away from boys. That's crazy. You don't pump a fear or a hatred of boys into your daughter. That's weird, man. Y'all are messing these daughters up. Y'all are messing the girls up. I pointed out to my wife that everywhere we go, you know what I'm saying, if you see homosexual women, it's almost always black women. I said, have you noticed that you rarely ever see homosexual white women? I'm talking about what you notice, right? Noticeable, right? Like they holding hands or something like that, right? Butchy looking or holding hands or something like that. There could be plenty gay people around that you don't recognize because they're not on full display. But I told her, say, have you ever noticed that 90-something% of the homosexual women couples you see are all black? It doesn't matter where we are. We could be at a festival, at a fair, anything, walking through the mall. When you see gay female couples, it's almost always black. And there's almost always one in the crowd, one or two couples in the crowd. We are doing this because we are raising these girls under some kind of hatred or resentment towards boys. And I told you, y'all black fathers are contributing to this. Y'all have the same mindset. For some reason, y'all dudes don't want y'all daughters having sex. It's strange, bro. This is how the earth repopulates. This is how people continue to grow. This is something that's genetically hardwired in our species. What are y'all doing? That is something that's so fundamentally designed in us by our Creator that it's deliberately made so pleasurable to the point of being addictive so that we would never stop doing it. That's the whole point of it. The desire to have sex is so strongly hardwired in us to ensure the propagation of our species, to ensure that we live on. Because if it didn't feel so good, most of us probably wouldn't want to do it. But it's nearly addictive for a reason. It's nearly addictive by design, by God's design, by the design of Allah, by the design of Yahweh, Yah, Jehovah, I don't care what you call it, the Most High, I don't care what y'all want to call the Creator. This drive in us is hardwired into us, and y'all think that y'all main purview as a parent is to kill that drive in your daughter, but only in so much as it concerns her dealing with boys. And y'all don't see anything wrong with that. I'm sorry, my brothers. I'm sorry, my sisters, but there is a lot wrong with that. I'm out of here. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm out of here. I'm Brother Kush, aka the Black Alpha. Salam. And get therapy, my brothers and sisters. Get therapy, because that fixation on the sexual activities of your daughter is not healthy. It's not healthy. Salam.